I'm writing this on behalf of someone very close to me who's going through a total nightmare right now. She's asked me to share her story privately because she's terrified, humiliated, and doesn't know where else to turn. She'll be reading your comments through me, so please know that every word of advice or support will reach her. She badly needs to hear from people who might understand what she's going through. My friend is 5 months pregnant. Her husband is in the military and has been deployed abroad for the past 3 months. Before I tell you what's happening now, let me give you background about who she is and how she got here. She's one of the nicest, most devoted people I know. When she met her husband 4 years ago, she fell hard. He was charming, thoughtful, and talked about building a future together. They got married 2 years ago, and while military life wasn't easy, the constant moves, the long hours, the uncertainty, she supported him fully. She left her job twice to follow him to new duty posts. She built their home in every new place, made friends with other military spouses, learned to handle the challenges of being married to someone whose life belongs to their country. When she found out she was pregnant, she was thrilled. They'd been trying for months. She told me she cried happy tears for an hour straight. Her husband seemed excited too. He talked about names, about setting up a room, about becoming a father. She was 2 months pregnant when he got orders for deployment. The timing wasn't great, but they'd known it was coming. Military families deal with this all the time, right? Before he left, he promised her everything would be okay. He said he'd send money regularly for the baby costs and bills. He said they'd Skype call whenever possible. He said he'd be thinking about her and their baby every single day. She believed him. Why wouldn't she? The first month of travel was fine. He called regularly. The money came through. He asked about her doctor's visits, about how she was feeling, about the pregnancy symptoms. She sent him ultrasound shots, and he saved them as his phone wallpaper. Everything seemed normal for a military deployment. Difficult, but doable. Then, about 6 weeks ago, everything changed. The calls stopped coming. At first, she made excuses for him. He's busy. The time change is hard. Communication is limited where he's stationed. She texted him information about the pregnancy, about feeling the baby move for the first time, about finding out the gender, about her growing belly. The messages would show as read, but he wouldn't reply. Days would pass, then a week, then 2 weeks. The money stopped, too. Their joint account, which he was meant to be depositing his pay into, showed no new deposits. She has some savings, but rent is due, utilities need to be paid, and she's been buying maternity clothes and planning for the baby. She works part-time at a retail job, but it barely covers food. She texted him about the money. No answer. She called. It went to voicemail. She called again. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. She started to worry. Was he okay? Had something happened to him? Was he injured? She called his unit's family support office, her heart racing with fear. They told her he was fine. Active. No accidents. Just busy. But he wasn't too busy for social media. That's when she found what was really happening. And this is the part that makes me physically sick with anger for her. She was scrolling through Instagram one sleepless night, unable to stop worrying about him, when she saw that he'd posted a new picture. Her heart jumped, finally, a sign he was okay. She clicked on it. It was a picture of him at what looked like a neighborhood restaurant or bar, smiling widely, his arm around a woman. A beautiful woman in a tight dress, laughing at something, looking relaxed and familiar with him. The comment said something casual like, "Good times with good people," with a bunch of emojis. She sat there, 5 months pregnant with his child, staring at her phone in amazement. She scrolled through his latest posts. There were more. Him and this same woman at different places. Him looking happier than she'd seen him look in months. Comments from his service buddies with fire emojis and "living your best life" messages. The woman was tagged in several pictures. My friend clicked on her profile. It wasn't secret. There were pictures of them together going back weeks. In some, they were clearly at his place. She recognized the furniture, the wall color, things they'd picked out together before he left. My friend called me that night, crying so hard she could barely breathe. I've never heard another human being sound so broken. She kept saying, "I'm pregnant. I'm carrying his baby. How is this happening?" She tried to face him. She commented on one of his pictures, asking him to call her. He deleted her message and blocked her from his Instagram. She tried Facebook, blocked there too. She called from my phone, thinking maybe his phone was having issues with her number. He answered, heard her voice, and hung up. Then blocked my number too. She's been trying to reach him for 3 weeks now. Nothing. Complete silence. Meanwhile, he keeps posting pictures with this other woman. They went to a beach last weekend. They were at some kind of event. They look like a couple. They look happy. And my friend? She's 5 months pregnant, struggling to pay rent, going to prenatal appointments alone, feeling her baby kick, while the father is on the other side of the world acting she doesn't exist. She called the family support office again, explaining the situation. They said they'd pass along a word but couldn't force him to communicate or send money. She'd have to go through legal channels if she wanted to seek financial support. Legal routes that cost money she doesn't have. Legal routes that feel overwhelming when she can barely get out of bed some days. Her family lives across the country and doesn't have the means to help her financially. My husband and I have been helping where we can, buying her food, covering some bills, but we have our own family and limited resources. She feels guilty every time we help, even though we do it freely. The emotional toll is terrible. She's got anxiety and has trouble sleeping. She lies awake at night wondering what she did wrong, how her husband could leave her while she's carrying his child. She looks at her growing belly and feels this mix of love for her baby and fear about doing this alone. She goes to prenatal checkups, and when they ask about the father, she doesn't know what to say anymore. The shame is crushing her. Other military wives in her community ask about him, and she has to pretend everything is fine because she's too ashamed to admit what's happening. She sees their social media posts about care packages they're sending, about video calls with their overseas husbands, about counting down the days until they're reunited. She's counting down the days until her baby is born, knowing the father might not even admit it exists. She's looked at the pictures of him with that other woman 1,000 times, torturing herself. Is he in love with her? Was he cheating before he deployed? Is he going to leave her? Is she already replaced? The worst part is the things she asks herself. Should she fight for her marriage? Should she try harder to reach him? Should she accept that he's made his choice and start planning to be a single mother? Should she call the other woman? Should she report him to his senior officer? Should she file for divorce while pregnant? Should she try to get military legal assistance? She's paralyzed by indecision and sadness. Every day she wakes up hoping he'll reach out, hoping there's some reason that makes sense, hoping this nightmare will end. But every day he posts more pictures, living his life like she never existed, and she's left trying to figure out how to prepare for a baby alone. She's asking for advice, viewpoint, anything that might help her make sense of this. What should she do about the cash situation? Should she keep trying to call him or accept the silence? How does she protect herself and the baby legally? Should she reach out to his command? Will that make things worse? How does she deal emotionally with this abandonment while pregnant? Has anyone been through something similar? What did you do? Is there hope he'll come back? Or should she start divorce proceedings? What resources available for military spouses in this situation? She's reading everything you write. She's desperate for direction, for support, for someone to tell her she's going to get through this. Right now, she's at rock bottom, feeling totally alone despite being surrounded by people who love her. If you have advice, experience with military spouse issues, knowledge of legal tools, or just words of encouragement, please share them. A woman who's about to become a mother needs to know she's not invisible, even though her husband is treating her like she is. Thank you for reading this. Please help her figure out what to do next.